I'm having a good day. This book is called The Magic Pudding by Norman Lindsay. Bill was a small man with a large hat, a beard half as large as his hat, and feet half as large as his beard. Remember that. Sam Sawnoff's feet were sitting down and his body was standing up, because his feet were so short and his body so long that he had to do both together. They had a pudding in a basin, and the smell that arose from it was so delightful that Bunyip Bluegum was quite unable to pass on. "Pardon me," he said, raising his hat, "but am I right in supposing that this is a steak and kidney pudding?" "At present it is," said Bill Barnacle. "It smells delightful," said Bunyip Bluegum. "It is delightful," said Bill, eating a large mouthful. Bunyip Bluegum was too much of a gentleman to invite himself to lunch, but he said carelessly, "Am I right in supposing that there are onions in this pudding?" Before Bill could reply, a thick, angry voice came out of the pudding saying, "Onions, bunions, corns and crabs, whiskers, wheels and handsome crabs, beef and bottles, beer and bones, give him a feed and end his groans." "Albert, Albert," said Bill to the pudding, "where's your manners?" "Where's yours?" said the pudding rudely, guzzling away there and never so much as offering this stranger a slice. "There you are," said Bill. "There's nothing this pudding enjoys more than offering slices of himself to strangers." "How very polite of him," said Bunyip. But the pudding replied loudly, "Politeness be sugared, politeness be hanged, politeness be jumbled and tumbled and banged. It's simply a matter of putting on pace. Politeness has nothing to do with the case." "Always anxious to be eaten," said Bill. "That's this pudding's mania. Well, to oblige him, I ask you to join us for lunch." "Delighted, I'm sure," said Bunyip, seating himself. "There's nothing I enjoy more than a good go in a steak and kidney pudding in the open air." "Well said," remarked Sam Sawnoff, patting him on the back. "Hearty eaters are always welcome." "You'll enjoy this pudding," said Bill, handing him a large slice. "This is a very rare pudding." "It's a cut-and-come-again pudding," said Sam. "It's a Christmas steak and apple dumpling pudding," said Bill. "It's a—" "Shall I tell him?" he said, looking at Bill. Bill nodded, and the penguin leaned across to Bunyip Bluegum and said in a low voice, "It's a magic pudding." "No whispering!" shouted the pudding angrily. "Speak up! Don't strain a pudding's ears of the evening table." "No harm intended, Albert," said Sam. "I was merely remarking how well the crops are looking." "Call him Albert when addressing him," he added to Bunyip Bluegum. It soothed him. "I am delighted to make your acquaintance, Albert," said Bunyip. "No soft soap from total strangers," said the pudding rudely. "Don't take no notice of him, mate," said Bill. "That's only his rough and ready way. What this pudding requires is politeness and constant eating." They had a delightful meal, eating as much as possible, for whenever they stopped eating, the pudding sang out, "Eat away, chew away, munch and bolt and guzzle, never leave the table till you full up to the muzzle." But at length they had to stop, in spite of these encouraging remarks, and, as they refused to eat any more, the pudding got up out of his basin, remarking, "If you won't eat any more, here's giving you a run for the sake of the exercise." And he set off so swiftly, on a pair of extremely thin legs, that Bill had to run like an antelope to catch him up. I really assure you that your life will be better if you read the rest of it. I've given you one of the, main parts. What more do you want? Please, go read this amazing book. I just have to give you a few warnings. Bunyip Bluegum is not, in fact, a koala bear. He is a koala, not a koala. The only bear that exists in Australia is the drop bear, and, koalas are its hippie cousins. They're kind of terrifying, actually. They don't really crop up in the book, but it is kind of a kid's story. You don't want to put these grotesque things in them. I haven't personally seen one, because I've always been really careful not to walk under eucalyptus trees at certain times of the day. But, basically, yeah, that's what they do. They drop on you and maul you. So, just don't go out in the heat of the day. And when you do, wear mosquito repellent because it makes you taste disgusting. And it also keeps the flies away, which is good.